Now, thank you for watching. As always, this is World Over Media, and we bring to you whatever is trending across the globe. Now, today we want to look at how Africa is uniting and the efforts that are being placed for Africa to unite. Now, Arikana Chihombori joins Burkina Faso President Traore in slamming the white supremacy and telling Africans that this is the time to unite, and we have to do it now. We have to come together and dismiss this partitioning that the whites imposed on us. We don't want to be divided again, and we have to let our borders be free so that we interact freely and we share ideas that will lead to prosperity of Africa. Now let's see this video and react to it in the end.
Je suis ému et très content de vous voir.
I am moved and very happy to see you here in Burkina Faso. It is more than a pleasure that you chose to come here to Burkina. They surely told you that it is an unvisitable country, they told you that it's death here, it's war, there is only negative things, and Burkina is called black. Thank God you arrived safely, you were able to be in Bobo Dioulasso, you've lived with us, our culture is what binds us Africans. You were able to commune with many other nationalities who came to celebrate with us. This is an important message that you are sending to everyone, and now you will be the ambassadors of this message when you are at home. That Burkina is very friendly, we live in Burkina Faso. What they want to make people believe is not Burkina. This is what they draw to get people to flee Burkina, and they depict all of Africa like that. For them, Africa is misery. Africa is famine. Africa is war, but it's them who are responsible for this war. We need to unite, but they have always been there to divide us, to be able to reign on us through slavery. Our ancestors experienced it, and until today, we have it fed up in our flesh, but it continues. Our great people were deported, tortured, and again when they had their war, we supported them, but they paid us in monkey money. Others were killed when they tried to stake their claim. Several of them died in their village as a result of the war. Never recognized the work of the African. Our mission is first of all to awaken Africa and do better, so that you from the diaspora can make people understand what Africa is. When I see you, united in this association, I feel even more proud because that's all we are asking for today. Our fight is to be able to unite, because united we are strong, divide we are weak. They have always worked to divide us, so I urge you to spread the message so that Africa can unite it. We have taken our responsibilities and we realize today more than ever that we were right to take our responsibilities. Because these armies that were installed here were never able at any time to monitor our territory, to see the terrorists who came to kill us and leave with all the means they had when we asked them to leave. Today, we were able to acquire an array of means that allow us to wage our war and ward off the threat, and contain it. We were able to equip our forces and replenish our armies. They don't necessarily like it, and they will create other schemes, but we are here and we will stand to pass the message to raise awareness. Some leaders always try to put their people to sleep and continue to plunder their people for the benefit of the West. It must stop. And who is better than you to pass this message to the different peoples? Africa must wake up, young people must wake up. Everything needs to be done in Africa. Look at how our cities are. We can also develop our health and education systems, we can develop everything, so in this rich diaspora, we have all the specialties today. In Burkina, we are thinking about setting up a polytechnic university just to train scientific engineers, and I think you will be welcome because as long as we will not train the youth, so that we ourselves can produce and process our produce here on site, we will always remain slaves. Sovereignty is a whole, and we are fighting for food self-sufficiency. Those who can invest in the agri-food industry, to process our products here, you are welcome. We produce everything here, everything grows on our soil, and those who want to invest in agriculture are welcome. Those who want to invest in processing are welcome. Education, we want to transform our education because the formatting that we are currently experiencing is from the school they had channeled to us. so that the intellectuals for most parts cannot think about leaving the furrows that they have traced. We need to change the education system. You are welcome on that, and there are many other paths. They were looting our wealth, but today we are regaining control and we are never going to leave our wealth behind, because we want to live. We want to see our children cared for, educated, grow in peace and live in a healthy environment. It's time for us to unite and work. We only ask to live with dignity, and to live free. Continue to spread the message so that young people can wake up. Let them no longer let us leaders make them slaves for others. This must not be allowed. There are certain countries today to which we want to send messages, but I think that your voices even carry more, because you are ambassadors, and wherever you are, whether in America, in Europe, or in the Caribbean, you are ambassadors, and when you speak, it can awaken some, and I urge you to speak. This is the mission. Take a listen at this epic exchange that the Burkina President Captain Abraham Traore had with a delegation from the African Institute for the Development of the Diaspora, that's led by Ambassador Dr. Arikana Chihombori Quao, as he hosted him at his presidential palace in Ouagadougou, on the Tuesday of May 7, 2024, with the theme of this exchange being Emancipation of Africa and Awakening of Consciences.
President Traore, who has led the struggle to complete the unfinished business that was started by our ancestors when they created the Organization of African Unity. During that meeting, they demanded the creation of an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was united. That journey is yet to be finished. What is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, is just the beginning of a revolution that is way past due for Africa. Africa must unite, and Burkina Faso has shown us the way. They have opened the doors. They have shown us that the bully can be defeated. That no more shall we continue to give up our lunch. That we too need to eat. And therefore, there is no negotiating with the bully. The bully had to go, and Burkina Faso showed us how to do it. So, Mr. President, I bring you your children, descendants of the formerly enslaved. They have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They're bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso. Mission number 2, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Courageous, fearless, and in their faces. Unapologetically, you told France, pack your bags and go home. So we are here. Our third mission is to see what can we do, Mr. President, to play our part in building the Burkina Faso we want.
Yes, let me first remind you that when the whites came to Africa, they first did what we call partitioning of the continent, and they ensured that there are boundaries and areas that divide Africans. For instance, these boundaries that we see dividing different countries wasn't there before, and this was a tool to allow them to rule us, and they scrambled for these regions they had divided. For instance, you find that the British people had a certain section, and also the French had a certain section. Even the Germans had their section. This was a way of ensuring that they uh, control Africa for eternity. Are we going to still allow this kind of oppression, or rather control, to be in Africa? Now, as we have seen Chihombori and Burkina Faso president talking boldly on the need for Africa to unite and go against these colonialism or colonialist minds, so that we can stop racism or discrimination of the blacks. I like how the president of Burkina Faso has come out strongly and saying that he is going to chase away and is not allowing the French people to rule his country. He wants Africa to be on its knees and fight for what belongs to them. This is our continent, and this is a continent we have to build by ourselves. We have to change the narrative that Africans cannot change their destiny and Africans cannot determine their future lives. Now, this is a moment and a very good moment for the future generation, and the kids that will come will appreciate the leaders who have stood up now to defend what belongs for Africa. As we are going forward, I know we will see more of these leaders coming up because there's a crop of leadership that is coming out in Africa, and it's time now to tell those the cronies of the whites that it's the end. It is the end, and you have to pack your things and leave us. We want to fight for ourselves. For a long time, you haven't fought for us, and that is why we are changing this narrative. We are bringing a crop of leaders. You have seen in South Africa, Malema is coming out strongly and defending what he believes in and what he wants Africa to be. The Senegalese president also, who was recently elected as young as 44, is also strongly agitating for what belongs for Africans. Now, let's preempt that in the near future, around 20 to 40 years, as we saw a speaker telling us that last week, we are going to see a robust Africa, Africa that has woken up, and Africa that knows its value. Let me see your comment on this. What do you have to say on this topic? Hit our comment section, and most importantly, we have to continue having an engagement. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and also share our videos. Thank you, and may God bless you.